Alright, just got the package dropped off from Summit, so we got carb base gasket here, stud kit, valve springs. These are the Howard's ones. These will match my cam nicely. The cylinder head bolts. This is pretty exciting here. Does it say what it is? Holley fuel pressure regulator. This will adapt the EFI fuel pump to work with the carburetor. I haven't actually opened it yet. It's pretty small, so I can get it out of here. Here's the bracket and everything. I'll figure out where we're going to mount it. Anyway, it's pretty neat. I'll show you what it looks like. It goes like this. Just mount it in line with the hose, the fuel hose, and then you can adjust the fuel pressure. So it'll be nice. We got OEM Chevrolet head gaskets, 2 of them. Not cheap. They're 30 or 35 bucks a piece, but OEM's probably a good way to go. Summit sent me a free hat. And then got the rocker arm kit as well. There's another one underneath it, it's just packed in there. I forgot to pull off my stock rocker arms off the factory heads, so I just had to order a new set. Nice and unneeded money, but oh well, or unneeded expenditure. Anyway, getting closer every day. Alright, so I got a call back from the machine shop yesterday with the Vortec heads. Found out they were cracked, at least one of them was, so I picked these up from a set off a guy about a half an hour south of me, and they look in great condition. Like, I'm almost tempted not to have them decked, but I'll send them to the machine shop and hopefully they can switch out the valve springs for me as well. So I'll get these unloaded. I also got a couple other things today for the truck, and we'll start going over those. Alright, I'm going to go over real quick what parts showed up today. So first off, I got 25 feet of 3/8 inch fuel hose that is rated for ethanol, so that's good. Got a transmission dipstick. This thing's pretty cool. It's just off of Amazon, about 26 bucks. It's from China, but the reviews were promising. It's flexible and it'll go on the firewall, so it's not going to leak, which will be nice theoretically. Got some more fuel stuff. This is to adapt to a pressure gauge. And then some fittings for the fuel pressure regulator. And then I've got the gauge itself and 1 or 2 more things coming in tomorrow. So I should really get those installed this weekend. I ordered a oil dipstick, engine oil dipstick in, which goes on the passenger side on this one. I didn't look closely enough at the ad, and it fits the driver's side dipstick, small Chevy. So returned that. I ended up getting a matching dipstick for the transmission one. I also got stuff to make brackets for that. I ordered a bunch of gaskets, the last couple of gaskets that we need in. Had through at the machine shop. They're supposed to be done tomorrow. Picking up the intake manifold and exhaust headers tomorrow, so we can be close. I already got the carb. I need to rebuild it still, but we're getting really close. Alright, so what you just watched was I lifted the engine back up. When I was getting ready to install the new oil dipstick tube, I had to bore out the hole and went too far and went into the pickup for the oil pump. So I lifted the engine up, was hoping that I could either get the oil pump out or just the pickup out. You can kind of see in there. But no such luck, and I can't get the oil pan off with it in the truck, so I'm going to end up disconnecting the transmission, and we'll have to pull the engine back out, and then we can just put the heads on outside the truck on the engine stand. I did get the brackets made for the transmission dipstick tube. That seems to be working. So next episode we'll be pulling the 350 back out and replacing the oil pickup tube, and we're going to do the pump as well. Alright, so I'm currently mocking up the fuel system. So the S10, you get 3 lines that come out of here on the frame rail. The bottom one to the left is the feed line, the middle is the vent, and the right is the return. So I've got the feed line ran with the regulator up here. Not the perfect spot for it, but I think it'll work. And we go into the fuel gauge, the pressure gauge, and then in that bolt right there, there'll be a bracket to hold the hose. That bolt's just in there for nothing, so it'll get removed. And then it'll flip up the carb, and then out of the bottom of the regulator there, it'll be at 90, and it'll go over and follow that hose all the way back down. That'll be the return. So anyway, it's going pretty well. I'm still waiting on a couple fittings that'll be here tomorrow. I'm going to try and rebuild the carb tomorrow morning, or maybe even tonight, and we'll be in business. Alright, got some progress made. The fuel system is pretty much done as far as plumbing. So it comes out of there, loops around. Still got to clean them up and organize them a little bit. And then once we get the fuel pressure tuned, I'll screw down the regulator, so it's just kind of sitting in there right now. And then that bottom one's the return line, which flips back around, goes back into the tank. And then this is the regulated fuel. Comes out of there, goes into a gauge, which is hooked into the manifold. The hose is just kind of looped into the manifold, and then it goes up and into the carb. So it cranks over now too, which is cool. I figured that wiring out. It's kind of jankily set over there for now. I need to figure out the fuel pump wire, and then once that's figured out, I'll pretty much be ready to go. Still have to rebuild the carb, but I'll show you, turn it over real quick. Which is cool, first time it's done that in a couple months. There's no spark plugs or anything in it right now, which is why I was turning over so easily. But yeah, certainly getting there. Alright, so I got the power probe out and came over to the fuel pump relay. Just sitting on the side of the truck right now, which is the center one on mine. And then you've got a couple of wires in here. The orange one, from what I understand, provides power to the relay. The brown one provides power to the fuel pump. The green one appears to be the trigger wire. And then the more important one, however, at least in my circumstance, is the black and white one. So the black and white one is the ground to the relay, and that's what I figured out wasn't getting a ground. And I remembered there's these 2 ground plugs back here that were on the back of the intake manifold on the 2.8 liter. They're now not connected to anything because I didn't ever bolt them back up. Well, they are the ground for the relay, or at least that's one of the grounds for it. So we need to get those connected back up, and then it'll work. You probably won't be able to see it, but the engine grounds are now, yeah, you can see it. They're back there somewhere. The back of the cylinder head. Yeah, I'm not gonna see it. Anyway, it's this bolt hole on the opposite side of the cylinder head. So now, when you turn the key in the truck, fuel pump comes on. So that's pretty neat. You need to adjust the valves, take a look at rebuilding the carburetor. This is just one a buddy gave me for free that he didn't use on his build. I don't know if I'll actually be able to use it, but the hope is to at least use it to get it running until I buy a new carburetor, but we'll see. Alright, so we got our distributor put in, so I need to put the plugs in and the wires on. I'm just messing around with the throttle linkage a little bit, and I got that pretty much dialed in, so once we take the carb back off, put it back on, it'll be pretty close. This is a pretty cool little bracket though. It comes with your return spring and a bushing and everything for it, and then you shrink the cable through there. Just zip tied on for now until I get a bolt or something for it. As you can see, the carb is leaking fuel, so hopefully the carb kit fixes it for now at least. Fuel system is pretty much dialed in, wiring's dialed in, so we're getting close.